Hello. Kittens!
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, that's great. More of this. Forget X-Men, it's kitten time.
It's kitten time.
Welcome back, everybody, to Old Reader, New Reader, aka
Oh,
old streamers, new kittens.
yeah, new kittens. This one's Magneto, and that one's girls. No, they're both girls.
That'd be great, though.
That would be great. That would be great.
So, welcome, Tina.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me again. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Always here to talk about the X.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, Tina, want to be on the show again? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, X-Men? And I'm like, yeah, because I mean, people from the channel know, and I haven't read a ton of X-Men. I just kind of randomly show up in X. I read like big events typically by recommendation. And I've read some of like the more modern, like past 10, 15 years, like random storylines.
Okay, the stuff that I haven't really read.
Yeah, once I get into like the less like over, like letting the images speak for themselves.
My
like,
era stuff?
Yeah. That's typically where I come in. So I know X-Men, right? Mm-hmm. But mostly from like shows, like the original cartoon. I'm an evolution girly. And I'm not ashamed of that, chat. Okay? I like it.
Different introductions, different ways of getting into the media. Perfectly acceptable.
I read a lot of X-Men fan fiction in middle school. Damn, look at these icons. Thank you, Hayden. Your icon is kind of freaking me out a bit.
I love that.
Oh, my eyes did the thing where it didn't cross regularly. At least Maddie read Dark Phoenix and loved it so much she read it like 5 times. That's so right. I've only ever read it once.
What was your rating on it? Pretty bad, wasn't it?
Aren't you there with me?
I think.
Was it Amanda, or were you there?
I think it was Amanda, but I think I was in the comments.
Okay, we don't need to talk about it.
It's okay. I'm not a big fan of. We all have our mutants or our preferred characters. It doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't
Oh yeah. Well, and
different characters jive with different people.
I love Rogue. Just say that. I love Gambit. I love any sorts of them. I love Nightcrawler. Actually, I love a lot of the X-Men. I like them a lot when they're in the school. Typically, it's like when we get into big events, I'm less interested. I tend to just like them hanging out. Mm-hmm. But I'm always down to read big events because it helps me understand some greater things. Because unlike DC, which has regular resets, whether I like it or not, sometimes that's a good thing. Marvel doesn't really have that for me, so I'm just like, because
really,
well, yeah, because the timeline hasn't like properly reset, right? So like,
there's and when I was reading this, I realized that some of this stuff has kind of been, I guess, retconned a little bit.
Yeah.
From what I know, and I thought I was doing you a favor because originally I was like, hey, let's do Age of Apocalypse, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Well, why don't we just do Fatal Attraction, specifically like a certain part of Fatal Attraction?
Well, and see, I didn't understand that part.
So, and I thought I was saving you some homework.
And I was like, great.
Let's do these two particular issues.
Well, and that's not how it was read. That's probably
not how you read it, because I was like, well,
because you said I'm interested in talking about these 2 issues, which to me means out of all of these, because it said I said starting with Fatal Attractions, the Death of the Dream X-Men, then Wolverine 75, but this is after said other things, and it's like those are the 2 major 2 I want. Those are the major 2 I want to talk about.
X-Men 25.
But you might just want to just read what leads up to it. And so I read all of it.
I read what led up to it. You didn't have to, but excellent.
Well, and honestly, I think that helps.
Yeah.
But the 2 issues you're talking about, which is what we'll focus on a lot more, but we can talk about the whole context. There's a lot happening in this.
Yeah, because I only refreshed my memory on these 2, but I read the crossovers and stuff. I think the only one that I didn't read back in the day was the X-Force crossover with Cable, because I was not as interested.
I mean, that's fair.
In Cable at the time, but pretty much everything else, including the Excalibur and stuff. But there is a lot that happens with Fatal Attractions.
So there's a lot of different versions of this, because there's also like an omnibus, I believe, and there's like the
right. So again, I'm not that Omar gave me
okay.
his old Fatal Attractions omnibus.
Nice, Because so I read on Marvel Unlimited. Definitely not at work today, right? Definitely a different time. So so here's what Marvel Unlimited is their like suggested reading list is what I led. And now that app is working better than it used to, it's not so bad. So they have you go through the lead-in issues, X-Men Limited, Uncanny X-Men 298 through 300, and then Uncanny X-Men 303.
Yeah.
And then the main event of Fatal Attractions, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues. So it's
I still have
Uncanny, X-Men Wolverine, and Excalibur. So that's all that I did. So I bet we can talk about it generally and then talk about in specific those 2 issues.
Yeah, and I still kept my single. I think this is a reprint. I don't have my original white covered, but I have my original floppy. I also have the one where Jubilee leaves the X-Men. But anyways, I kept those, my floppies of those.
So a lot of this, I mean, this is spanning a lot of different X series at the time. But a lot of this is with Fabian Nicieza and Scott Lobdell. Now, Scott Lobdell does have some pretty serious allegations against him. He has since came out in 2020. I've already talked about how I feel about that person. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But I want to make sure I am mentioning that before we get into any of this. But we're mostly not focusing on his stuff. So this is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily new reader friendly, but not in a bad way. Because again, I'm not the newest reader anymore.
Okay.
It's been years, right? So I know I know some of these characters. At this point where I'm popping in, there's a lot of characters here. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know these people. And like Exodus, and someone said Boom Boom, and I was like, that's Boom Boom? Yeah. So like that was like I don't know. Especially when you get to like X-Force.
Mm-hmm.
The X-Force and X-Factor people, I don't really know them.
Like Polaris and stuff like that.
If they said the name, I would know.
Oh, okay.
But like just by how they're dressed, because a lot of them, especially when you see like the Acolytes and stuff too, their outfits I don't recognize.
Well, and that's what kills me.
So
like really when like I see modern iterations of these characters, I don't recognize them because this is the characters I recognize. Yeah. So it takes me a moment. So when Omar's like, "Oh, this is Havoc," and I was like, "Havoc doesn't look like that." But then I haven't picked up an X title besides like a few here or there and seen Havoc.
I'd like to see how, because we haven't reviewed it here, but I would love to see how you feel about House of X.
Okay.
With its Hickman's run. And I'm iffy about Hickman sometimes, but I remember when that was coming out, it was really, really cool picking the pieces together and like doing some like theorizing. I wonder if you would like that, because it has some older, like there's a lot of Moira in it.
I think outside of the last, like the one with Jubilee that we picked up and read, I think the last thing that I read was I borrowed this from Omar. I think this is the last floppy I picked up of the X-Men. So that tells you how long like I've
makes me happy to see Tina joining more of these older X-Men. So I'm gonna get Omar a beer and ask him to join. He's busy reading.
He is
right now. But I did call him before this.
Yeah, and I told him what I was making Maddie read, and he was like, "Oh, that's one of my favorites." I was like, "Yeah, because it's Wolverine."
Yeah, I told Tina she has to come on here once a month. So it gets lonely when it's just me trying to schedule stuff. It makes it harder. So I know if I have like, okay, my best friend here, I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. But yeah, House of X, Powers of X. It was pretty cool.
I probably should definitely read that. I read a little bit of like the Hellfire Gala with that, but that's about it.
That's something right? Milestone. That's what that is. That because I'm more of a DC reader, so I was like, it's not. There's a milestone of Fatal Attractions.
Okay, with DC.
No. Sorry, the milestone of this Fatal Attractions.
Oh, okay,
that's what they call. Yeah. It's like the it's more of the like. It's a paperback.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. That's Omar talking about most X books. To be fair.
No, he said there are some duds. There's ones that are like not as great as others, but they lead to something big.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of Fatal Attractions. Like, Fatal Attractions, like, it's introducing a lot of characters. It's setting up the next section, which is Onslaught, which we don't have to get into that. That's a whole nother ballpark. It's kind of bringing together, like, the legacy virus and stuff. It's introducing, like, all these characters and tying up all these loose ends.
Yeah, so to set up, and we're not going to go, there's so much in here. Because it's spanning multiple X books.
Yeah.
And every X book has like 20 characters in it. It's like, there's a lot to unpack with all of this, but.
Well, we even get cameos from the Fantastic Four in here.
Yeah, we do. Which I love to see. So in this situation, which I love the lead initiative they had in here, because they start you off with X-Men Unlimited by Fabian Nicieza, because like, look at my notes really quick. Sorry, the name of that guy. Exodus shows up. I imagine that's part of it. And it also gives us really great like tie-in about Magneto, because this man, I did not write his name. He's like a regular human man.
Oh, the guy on the mountain.
Yeah, he and his brother on the mountain. Well, he calls him his brother. I don't know if that's for sure. I think it's his actual brother. Where Magneto's wife is buried.
Magda is buried.
Yeah. And we hear about like Magneto's background. It's a great like introduction to be like, why are people so attracted, so they follow this man despite everything, which is interesting given current things, right? Because it's like, this guy believes it so hard, there's got to be something right about it. Like, that's, and like by the end, this guy who's he watched Magneto kill his brother. He has sought to eliminate Magneto and other mutants because of this situation. And at the end, after spending all this time tracking and following Magneto, he doesn't shoot him at the end, even though he could have killed him at that point. And so that's like the first lead-in issue, and then we go into like the basic stuff. It was a cool way for me to start.
Right.
I think it really did help me get into like.
Well, and it's setting up like the whole aspect that like some people think of Magneto as a villain. Like, he is in some ways. But he is a great anti-hero because he believes he's doing the right thing. He's lived through atrocities in his life. He is a great example of him wanting to make the world better for his people in all the worst ways.
Oh yeah, well, he lived through this awful atrocity of the Holocaust, and then he's like, what if I did a Holocaust without? He's like trying so hard not to be the thing that tortured him, right, and like made his life awful,
right?
And then through all of that ends up, often, not always, but in this case, at this story, like where we are with Magneto at this point, going that way, right, and creating his own group without, again, not always realizing it, of fanatics who twist things that he has put into place, because he doesn't think about like the long reaching of like he does,
right? Well, he's not always as choosy with those that follow him, so he's kind of got his own what you would call like a goon squad. Basically, you have like the core members, and you have like these acolytes, like the strongest ones that have this sort of belief or like follow Magneto, at least what he believes is following him. Because you deal with the whole thing, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, like, Acolytes tried, sorry, my kids are, like, crying over here. They try to kill Magneto and stuff. They essentially,
Well, yeah, so, like, I guess, to get the picture before we get to the... Hayden. Hayden. Listen, not when it's a genocide. To give... the background before we get into this, I'll do my best with, and then please fill it in, because I don't know things. But from my limited X-Men knowledge and then reading this, right, before we get into like Fatal Attractions, we have a situation where Magneto is dead, as far as we know, right? The reader knows. There's a group of acolytes that have called themselves Magnus's Chosen, so they've used his name Magnus for him, led by, I always forget his name. Why are there so many names of people?
Is it
down? Fabian Cortez.
Yes.
Who has radicalized this group of mutants to carry on Magneto's word as if it's like a religion, a cult, right? Because the way they talk to him and worship him, he is like used Magneto's rhetoric to radicalize this group.
Right.
To the point where they're even killing people in hospice, like humans, right? Like they're attacking school buses. Like that they're setting it up quickly to be like, these guys
no good. They're kind of bad.
And so we have that going on. And then we also have we have our regular things on Earth going with just like the regular back and forth, typical of like, what are the local politicians thinking about this, and what is or the X-Men thinking. And then we also have this legacy virus that is attacking Illyana, aka Magic. And so we're dealing with that at the same time, which is neat, because at the same time that we're dealing with all of these things, and all these things are in place with like the Acolytes and the Game Master. Oh, and also we have this this guy named Exodus who's coming down. And they're not revealing what's happening yet, but we know it's Magneto. And he's coming down and be like, we've chosen you, one of you, to come with us to the haven in the sky, right? He has chosen you, this electromagnetic
being,
this storm, you know. And so he is showing up to talk to people, but like particular people. He's not aligning with the Acolytes. He's just kind of picking and choosing people. Right. Back before Magic was hugely popular, and then a lot of great like Jubilee situations. But you have this moment where it kind of ends before we get into the main line of things. The main event, Magic dies. Yeah, the professor's not able to heal her.
Right. There's nothing Colossus can do to save his sister. She is dying of the legacy virus. There's nothing Professor Xavier can do, even with the Shi'ar technology, to save her. Like, they're trying all these attempts to do anything they can. And Illyana is back to her child body. You know, she was Magic with the New Mutants and stuff like that. She was a grown adult. Now she's back here. And she's still the Magic that they know in their minds, but then she's also this little girl, you know, so it's like heart-rendering. And you could say legacy virus really mirrors what's going on in the world at the time, which was the AIDS epidemic. Like a serious thing. Like, you can't, people you know and love are dying from this disorder, and it just happens to be a subset of people that are dying of this virus, you know. And it's you can't save them. You don't know exactly what's going on. They're looking for a cure, like Moira and Dr. McCoy, Beast, Hank. They're all looking to try to cure, and there's nothing they can do to save them. And it like tears Colossus apart so much that he ultimately ends up joining with this figure,
which I think is fascinating. I think it's a really cool way to use his character in this.
Yeah, because we all think, oh, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Gambit? Because we know he's got ulterior motives. You know, is it going to be Rogue? She used to be a villain,
and she's still worried about it throughout this whole thing. She's like, "What if I make the wrong choice?" You have a group of mutants here that are like, "I'm not certain."
There's all these characters with sordid pasts that you're not thinking necessarily like it's going to be Colossus, this like really standoffish farm guy. Like when he first meets the X-Men, he's like
a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. But you find what the tipping point is for a lot of characters in these 2 volumes, or you know, these couple volumes. And for Colossus, it was the loss of his sister. That was his tipping point. Like, he couldn't save her. There was nothing he could do. Why not?
Well, and I think that's great, because I think, you know, again, I'll try not to really, the world's enough, right? The news is enough. But, you know, being someone who watches things happen, or regardless of where we are in the world, right? But what are the things that can tip you off and like radicalize you and change you, right? Mm-hmm. To go against your friends, even. Yeah. To choose a path that would, you know, kill these people. Because at that point, he loses all hope in.
Well, yeah. If you do, and I love these particular 2 volumes, like X-Men 25 and Wolverine 75, particularly 25, because it also gets into Charles's mind, Professor X's. Like,
oh yeah,
everybody is trying, or at least certain characters are always trying to do the right thing, and they always feel like they're drawing the shortest, you know, straw. Yeah. they keep losing it. They keep trying. They know it's the right thing. But when you keep doing the right thing and it doesn't get any results, nothing is getting better, then maybe you should stoop to the other guy's level. And that's exactly the sort of thought that Magneto has followed through to fruition.
Yeah.
Is I've tried in my thoughts, and we could argue about this, but like I've tried to be the better man. And ultimately, every time you are the better man, if you let anybody see your weakness, they are going to trample on you. They are going to do something. So you might as well grab that first.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see. I mean, there's a movie I saw last week that has a really good comparison to this, but I can't talk about it because it just came out, and it would be a spoiler, even though the book came out a million years ago. But go see The Long Walk. It's really good. But
okay.
Not if you want an upper, because it's not that.
That's an old Stephen King one.
No, yeah, the movie's very good, and the ending is different than the book. I really, really dug it, but again, not an upper. But I thought this was really cool. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of pieces. I was overwhelmed by a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
But at its core, I have a story that I was very interested in. Because I like to see how Magneto gets to where he is. I think he as a character is very interesting.
Yeah.
I think having Colossus so involved and seeing how he chose to kind of insert himself there is interesting. And seeing which mutants decided to side with him.
Yeah.
Right? And to see, I always love seeing Quicksilver be more of the antithesis and not joining in with him.
Right.
Because there's this point, I guess, I don't know if it's leading up to or it's in here. It's all messed up together in my head. But there's a point where the Acolytes really want Quicksilver to
head everything, yeah.
They're and to the point where they worship him as if they've predicted it, right? He is the second coming. And he's like, no. These people didn't want to do anything. These people are not our enemies. And no, but they're the enemies just by existing. And no, you're doing the thing. you're doing the genocide now, actually.
Yeah.
Again, if you guys see anything in these books that make you think about certain things, just remember that.
And that's one of the things that I realized was kind of retconned, because in this, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are Magneto's children.
Yeah.
And so
are they
Acolytes
not
are hey, you're the
yeah.
I think some of that, and don't quote me because I'm not current on a lot of things that changed.
I was pretty sure they still were. I hope they didn't change that.
They might be adopted, but in here they're legitimate his offspring. But they're looking at Pietro and they're you're Magneto's son. You're the heir to his empire, essentially. Mm-hmm. You need to come over. And he's like, I know I have daddy issues, but no, thank you. Which is really nice because Quicksilver, before this was also kind of a villain. And like I said, it goes back to each of these characters that had sorted past that probably didn't choose the right thing to begin with are choosing the right things.
Yeah.
Man, poor Polaris. Yeah, nobody remembers her as Magneto's kid. So that's
well,
a character.
To be fair, everybody has too many kids.
There's too many damn kids.
So does Scott. So does Jean. There's too many.
Yeah, they're all in this.
Everybody's. There's too many characters right now. And I guess it's because I'm sure there's other storylines going on that I don't know everything about, right? But it's also confusing that there's at least 3 characters in this whole group of thing that are from the future and having their own weird things, right?
Yeah.
And I know about them, but they don't know about each other. And I was like,
they kind of know about each other.
They're trying to. There's a lot of stuff happening, so it's okay.
So it's really nice to see we find out that this character is Magneto and he's been picking people to, and I want to talk about this, to go to his space.
It's his space heaven. It's Avalon.
Avalon.
He also refers to it as a haven.
Yeah. Which is really nice. I love that they chose Avalon to say this is separated. This is a heavenly place without being heaven. It's a fantasy realm. It's something that you go to exist and be part of with people who are special.
Yeah. So he's I will choose who gets to be up here as if it's my kind of arc, right?
Yeah.
And I will pick my people because he already says I can only take some of you.
Right. The chosen few.
Gross.
Right. But it also shows how just like awesome Magneto's powers are, because he is like, the whole world government's afraid of him. You know, you had Asteroid M, which crashed. Now you have this, you know, like space station, Avalon in space, and the world's worried about Magneto's powers affecting them. So they basically set up this grid to protect Earth, and Magneto's like, bet guys, I can still disrupt you. And he does. And it's terrifying.
Which is interesting, right? And at this point, he's like, I don't care what happens to Earth. I don't care what happens to you guys. You're going to be your own demise. Now I'm just going to watch it happen.
Yeah, because he's gone through that logic. He's done that weird mental math of being like, you know what? I've tried not to be a tyrant. And he goes in this little monologue later, and he's like, I've tried not to be a despot. Too. I've tried not to be a tyrant. I try not to be. But guess what? Some things you just have to do.
Which is, I mean, that's the whole thing that's interesting about him, right? That forever, he is the way because of what he went through, but it also makes him into the thing he hates most.
Right.
And I think that does make him a very interesting character. And I wish I had my iPad here because I took screenshots of some of his, like, monologues.
Oh, it's in here. And before even that, like, how did you feel about Professor Xavier joining the away team?
That was interesting. Well, that's okay. That's always interesting, right? And I'm glad that they were like, hey, he has this suit, but it takes a lot out of his brain power, so he can't do it all the time.
Yeah, just this magical suit. Like, hey, like we're setting this up for this awesome battle, like, of telekinesis. We know what's gonna happen.
But also, you didn't need your legs.
No, you didn't need your legs.
Like,
but
you have
setting him up as like a force, this powerful force. Like,
yeah, which I guess he's also, if he can't be in a machine because it's Magneto and control, and I get all that stuff.
I mean, like,
but his little diaper outfit,
like this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to see that, and I was like, why? I remember reading
that's
this
so
as
of the
like
time.
A kid, and I was being like, you had this the entire time? Why don't you use this?
Well, yeah, exactly, right? Well, yeah, because like, there's either like, why don't you use the entire time, or two, we love convenient disabilities.
Well, but it's cool. Like, it shows that Magneto is an awesomely powerful.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. Because even like Rogue kissed him to take away half of his powers, and still he's like, that's not enough.
Yeah, but
which I think it should have been. I think my girl could have done it, but it's fine.
But it just shows how powerful Professor X is also, because he's controlling the suit.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Oh yeah. It could have been totally cooler. I mean, sheer technology, come on. You could have like modded that, like,
listen, his girl's busy. His girl barely got to talk to him. It was kind of sad because he's like, she reached out after like Magic dies, and she's like, hey boo, just checking on you, like, I want you to know I love you and stuff. And she's like, oh, the connection's cutting out. She's like, you're never alone. And he's like, yeah, I am. What are you talking
about? Bye. Yeah, that was just a quick like, oh, by the way, we just need a like transition. We're gonna use Shi'ar again, so let's just bring her in. Okay, that's good. Go on.
I mean, you're still talking to Moira, but it's fine.
Multiple ladies.
Hey, it's X-Men. Get it. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. I love all the back and forth where they're fighting Acolyte, and Exodus shows up as well near the campus, and then Colossus goes with them. Because at this point, he's like, I don't want to feel anything. He's chosen not to feel anything.
Right.
Which I think is appropriate, not just for what he's gone through, but almost like a good show of his abilities. Mm-hmm. It matches, right? Because the way he uses his ability, he does shut off all pain. He's a man of steel. So it makes sense that he, by doing that, also wants to shut off himself as well and just be steel on the inside.
Right.
This is me looking too much into it. But to me, I'm like, that makes sense. Like, I don't ever want to feel anything.
Yeah.
Ever again. And I did read like the follow-up to this where like after the head
Wolverine injury stuff, and he's like stuck in that form.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. There's some sweet moments there. So yeah, so that's, and of course you get to the ship. There's a bunch of fighting, a bunch of going back and forth. So I guess let's talk about the two biggest things here.
Okay.
We got to talk about him attacking Wolverine.
Yes. So there's really like two different like platforms of fights that are going on. There's the one that is mentally going on. I mean, everybody, and Professor X chose his team specific, and he even goes over this in the book. He's like, I chose this team specifically for certain abilities.
Yeah.
I and Jean will attack him mentally, while the rest of the team will take care of the Acolytes. And they get rid of the Acolytes using Avalon's own teleportation stuff. So they're like, we've removed that. Now we want you guys to attack Magneto. Hi. We're going to attack Magneto physically as well. So there's two fights going on different playing fields.
Yeah.
And I love this like Power Rangers moment of like Professor X and like Jean like, let's combine our powers. And
yeah. Hold hands. Well, I even liked how it was set up because he like the way he's like Team A, Team B, Team C, and they're like back to back.
Yeah. And they
are
space
outfits.
Yes. And they're just like gunning it. They're like all fields, all cylinders firing on one mutant, on Magneto. And that's, I mean, like Magneto is so powerful. Like he's holding his own to this team.
William, Tia's been great. She hasn't said anything that got the channel.
No, I haven't. I mean, do you want me?
I do want to join the next drunk AMA though on Patreon. Next one.
Oh, I almost forgot that even like Magneto was like, you know what? My son has to be slain.
Yeah. Okay, Josh, that's my cat being annoying this time.
Yeah. It's not, I've got kittens in here.
I'm home and she does not have it's crazy how much her voice cuts through the barrier to my microphone. But yeah, I mean, to the point where, which is crazy, right? Because you think about this, and there's this great monologue where it talks about Magneto is always feeling he's being disappointed by his children.
Oh.
Now, Magneto is a man of hypocrisy.
Magneto is not the greatest dad.
No, he's awful. But he's such a hypocrite, which I think also makes him very interesting, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about the big picture of him, right? Where like, hey, he was in the Holocaust, hates Nazis, kind of becomes a Nazi, is devastated by the loss of his child, right? His first child. Eventually he's like, nah, I gotta kill my child, I guess.
Yeah,
right? Like just doesn't, it's only when it's convenient to him.
Right.
I saw this really good comic. I don't think, because it wasn't real. It wasn't a real comic. I think it was like making fun. Oh, hi, baby. Where they were like, Professor X he's talking to Magneto, and Magneto's like, but I was in the Holocaust. And like, Charles like, listen, I put those thoughts in there. They're not real. It was like a documentary. And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, you're so angry. I thought that giving you some trauma would like, give you some purpose and chill you out, make you more empathetic. And it didn't work. He's like, no, those are my memories. He's like, no, I even left the commercials and I forgot. He's like, but I thought the Geico gecko was there. He's like, no.
I'll have to look that up.
I'll have to find it again. I thought about that the entire time I was reading this.
Yeah, Charles he's like, come on, Jean, let's get together and like bring up all his sordid past, like the Holocaust and him losing his family, make him relive it all over again, destroy this guy. And Magneto's like, Charles, I thought you would never do this. You wouldn't stoop.
Well, and also, do you act like Magneto's thinking about that stuff all the time? Are you kidding me? Do you think that man wants to be happy ever? No, he is thinking about those memories at all times. That's not a weapon against him.
No, but Charles is, and like Jean is she's like, we shouldn't be doing this. This is breaking everything you've taught me that we shouldn't do to people with our, abilities. Yeah. And Charles is like, you know what? We've tried Plan A.
He's turned at this
working this past 1,000 times. So let's try Plan F.
Which I like because in the middle of all this happening, right, we're getting these moments where they're just like thinking about the past and everything else. And Charles is thinking about like, he's like, I thought I could have faith in him. I thought that was good. I thought, over and over again, I kept trying to look for this other way.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's not.
And I think and then it's almost like you've fallen for the Magneto trap as well. Right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at some points I'm like, yeah, there are some people that are so evil that they shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And it's a net good if they don't. Right? But you've also, by getting to that point, are you not the same? And that's debatable, right? That is debatable.
And
you and
this
I
is
have
setting something
opinions
up in the future, which I don't want to talk about. It's like the whole onslaught stuff, but there's reasons this is going on, and it is played out so well in this volume. I also love that the comics code is enforced pretty heavily because they're like, "Oh, Magneto's bleeding so heavily," and you're like, "What blood? He's shirtless."
Well, which is crazy. I mean, later on, Wolverine's bleeding bad.
Well, he's bleeding, but it's not blood. You know what I mean?
He made me bleed my own blood. Charles has some creepy thoughts about young Jean Grey, which was revealed right before Onslaught. I don't know if I've read Onslaught or not. Maybe this is what we should do. Every other month, we just read another X-Men event.
Just continue on.
Yeah. I don't read anything related. I still read the tie-ins, but like overall, I don't really know what's happening.
You just get little bits of the story until you finally piecemeal it together. I mean, that's basically what happened to me as a child. Like I read, oh, I could pick up these three, like volumes, and then I'd skip like a month before I could go to the comic store and pick up the next couple bits. So I read like a good chunk of Omega Red's story before this, and then I
think Magneto's considerable consternation comes from decades of being forced to wear a goofy-looking helmet.
Listen, that is not a goofy-looking helmet. That helmet is killer. What do you think of the helmet?
I think it's fine. It's better than a Peacemaker helmet. I was just thinking, as cosplayers, you and I know it's not easy wearing a weird headpiece all the time. No. I agree with Matthew. It's a kitten stream.
It's a kitten stream.
Hello. The fluffiest, the dumbest kitten. There's no thoughts behind those eyes.
There's no thoughts in this head. Surprisingly, she's wiggly. I'm
just waiting for them to want to use the bathroom, and then you're just stuck there.
Oh, yeah. It's stinky in here.
So we even got to Wolverine. So all this has happened.
Well, that's the next thing. That's the next big thing.
And it's also the way that this is illustrated is so cool, and not how I expected him to mold it.
What do you mean?
Very cool.
Like it's like liquid coming out.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that from this. I don't know. I think I was just expecting like a controlling the adamantium, and he'd just be like, ugh. But I was expecting just like, oh no, I'm gonna make it like into liquid and just like do what I want.
Pull it from his body.
Yeah.
I love that.
Crazy.
Like they could have done some weird things with it, but they're like, no, let's like pull it, wrap it, like
very cool. They did some pretty brutal things anyways this whole time, because like Magneto at the beginning of this did just crush a guy with his own whip. Like just like crush him to death. And Jubilee's like, whoa! That is gnarly, dude. Yeah, no, this is really cool. Like, which makes, I think we've seen this sort of thing right before Magneto and adamantium, but like this is way harsher than I thought it'd be. It's very cool.
Well, this is the first time dealing with it, because like I remember the big discussions on like the playground when I was reading this was
I can picture a little Tina and be like, no way.
Well, no, it was like so like my friends at the time, like I can think about the whole crew, like me and Brandon, my buddy Brandon, and Julio, like on the playground, and we would have arguments like Magneto should not have been able to pull the adamantium because like he's Magneto, right? It's like he has to magnetize, and we all know that he has powers over other things, like basically all metal and stuff. But like we were arguing, like, can he really do this? Then why didn't he do this before? Like, what made his ability so, But it was the fact that in here we know that Magneto was holding back a little bit. So every time he fought the X-Men, there's terrible things he could have done, but he actually held himself back a little bit because these people are his kind. So like, although he has done so many atrocities to other people, other, groups, he's essentially buffeted himself from doing this terrible thing to Wolverine. But finally, he's crossed that line. He has hit that line, and he's like, you know what? You've wounded me almost to death, Wolverine. We'll go together.
Man, it's crazy. Intense. Well, I mean, like, what a way to, like, you find Wolverine show up, the guy, you know, our big badass guy in the group, wrecked.
Yeah.
Wrecked. But honestly, really cool. I mean, it was like, well, and the response to this is...
And probably one of the only guys that could actually handle this.
Well, yeah, if they had to choose someone to do it to, one, you can see that, you know, and feel afraid of Wolverine, but also know he's going to be like, oh my God, she's insane. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
Robin. Good. Shut up. I would walk away, but I have on very tiny shorts. So cool. You're just going to have to hear it because I can't show you my butt. Chat, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so like anyone else would be really devastating to see. And it would be, I mean, it's devastating for it to happen to him as well, but it's a different way, right? But I love, the way that the group responds after that is so interesting.
Well, it's a tit for tat at this point in time. You have Wolverine almost killing Magneto. Magneto's like, you know what, Bet, let's go down together. I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to pull your adamantium. And then, you know, Professor X is like, you know, like, okay, you've crossed that line. I'm going to cross the even bigger line. Yeah, and I'm going to do this major thing.
Because he's not the only powerful person in this room, right? No. Xavier also holds back constantly.
Yeah.
And so he ends up basically making Magneto brain dead.
Yeah.
Right.
A vegetable state, essentially. Yeah, he takes away everything that is Magneto at this point. He takes away his hatred, his memories, the thing that made Magneto Magneto. He takes away his very essence.
Post video right to him hearing Maddie say, showing my butt chat. It's very kind of old reader, new reader that I'm used to. That's a Patreon exclusive.
That's old reader, new reader. Ask me anything. AMA.
Yeah, it's the same video where I'll teach Omar to pole dance.
Okay, that needs to be a new tier.
God, we need to figure out like either some sort of fundraising or something. That's every time I've done a room review.
Let's not cross that line.
One day in his Nightwing outfit. Anyways, let's go to the serious stuff. But yeah, so I mean, it's incredible because it's such a like. It reminds me because again, I'm a bigger DC reader. But there's this moment in DC where Wonder Woman kills a man. She kills him because he is mind controlling Superman, which can mean the end of everyone. And she's like, "There's only one way we get out of this," and she makes that call. Of course, everyone's very upset with her. It's like, how could you do that? And I think there's a similar situation here where it's like, okay, we've reached the point where this is only going to get worse.
Yeah, and I'm on this.
And I can't save everyone.
Well, and here's like Professor X is like, no more Magnus, no more. Logan shall be the last. Like you've drawn the straw essentially. Yeah. Like these are my students. These are those closest to me. No one else will ever suffer. You caused the deaths of hundreds today, Magnus. Deaths I could have prevented had I stopped you years ago. So Professor X is feeling the weight of these deaths because he's like, I'm responsible because I could have done this a long time ago, but I stopped myself. So he's crossing that line. He's like, you have killed too many Magnus, and I have had enough. I will make sure here and now, once and for all, that you never kill again. And I love this panel. Because he's just like,
so good.
I am done. Like, you see, like, basically, in essence, Magneto's, like, essence just leaving him at that point in time.
That's so good. I mean, it is devastating. And it's interesting because there's a lot of, like, right after this all happens, Colossus is still there.
Yeah.
And he feels a lot of regret. Not for what he's done, but for regret for basically allowing the opportunity for this to happen to Magneto. He feels responsible. But I think part of that is because he couldn't be there for his sister properly.
He couldn't be there for his sister, but like he's also still at core like a good guy. So he's not in the attack on the X-Men, but he's still there. And he's like, you know what? I've called for, backup. They're bringing the Blackbird. Bishop's coming to get you guys. And they're like, well, come with us. And he's like, I can't. I couldn't save
Someone
my
has to be
sister.
here.
Somebody has to be with Magneto, and maybe I can do for him what I couldn't do for my sister. And that's very poignant. Like, this is a
Colossus.
horrible man, but he's like, somebody has to be here to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be still the better man. Yes, I joined him and stuff, but somebody has to be here to take care of somebody that can't, because I can't just let somebody die when I can save them. So Colossus is still like reaching out, basically like being like, I can save you.
A sweet boy.
Yeah.
I love him. I've always loved him. Yeah, so we have that and they get on the ship. And then we have Wolverine 75, which I think is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because we start out with them going into his mind to try to reach him.
Oh yeah, this Dalian
whole
like hellscape.
Trying to reach, you have Charles and Jean trying to reach Wolverine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the rest of the crew just trying to like keep Wolverine alive and stable, but trying to get the Blackbird to make it back because there's not a lot of energy there. Everything's like screwed up. So they're
going through a radiation field. They're going through a lot of stuff, and they're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. Which, let's be real, Blackbird, way advanced technology. It still is not, I would dare say, totally made for space.
Yeah. Wild.
And like trying to keep Wolverine alive, trying to keep him mentally alive and there. And like just the struggle of his like healing factor. Is it going to be enough to save him with the measures that they are taking to prevent him like just losing it? Because like that's a real thing. That's why they put you under when they operate on you, because they basically make you forget that you're feeling pain. And that's essentially what they're doing here, is they're trying to disconnect that pain from driving Wolverine into a complete shock that will kill him.
Which is wild, because then like, doing that, and of course like the ship's going crazy. Like, they're just trying to keep him stable,
well,
but
it's
while
breaking
still
apart. It's breaking apart in the atmosphere. And like the
Logan's
whole pivotal thing is like the roof gets pulled off and like Jean gets like essentially like sucked out.
Yeah.
But I love that part. Like Moira and Jubilee are like talking through the two-way.
Well, yeah, because he calls her and she's like, stop with the psychic call. I swear to God. He's like, I need you to help me with Wolverine. Like, it's really bad. She's like, oh God.
You're right. She's like, we're trying, we're doing our best here. And she's like, you got to basically make it. There's nothing like Moira can really do at this point in time. She's just like, don't give up on him.
Yeah.
Keep trying to get to him. Keep trying to make him live, essentially.
And there's great moments in there too, because there's a moment where they're like, okay, let's get him fixed up and like go ahead and give him the pain medication. He's like, no, I need to feel every bit of this. I need to feel, because that means I'm fixing myself. He's like, I'll have more than enough time when I'm dead to not feel anything.
Right.
Like,
and there's a great they're walking through and seeing like how the Weapon X program, how the adamantium was put in him, and that plays a big part in his like inner thoughts, his hellscape of what makes him him. It's such an integral part to him that when the adamantium is gone, and even mentally, like when Professor X is trying to hold him to this world, this realm, and to keep him from passing on, like he becomes boneless, because to him his adamantium is so built into his core figure. He is essentially boneless. He's just skin flapping in the wind, and that's so poignant to me. Like, he looks so freakishly weird.
I love that. I love that page, because he's also just like sweet. He's like, what, like sweet release or something.
Yeah.
Like he's like, please just let me go. Because I mean, this is a man that couldn't die for a long time. Like, he's like, please.
Yeah, he's like, please, this light is beautiful. And Charles is like,
and like it's Ileana calling to him.
Yeah. And he's like, I can stop Logan from being sucked into that awful light. But for Logan, he's like, this light is beautiful. This is redemption.
And he does the most romantic thing.
Who is the redemption light? It's Ileana. And he's like, hey, darling, this is yet another like figure that he sees as almost like a daughter to him, almost in some ways. And he's like, darling, take me with you. Like, you just passed. I'll be there. You are an angel. And then what happens? She's like, no, it's not time, essentially. It shoves him back. And he's like, no, don't push me away, darling. I love that. Like,
it's great. Like, he's such a lonely guy, too, right? Like, I love Wolverine. Everyone's like, I like how rugged and cool he is. Like, no, I love how lonely and, like, how much he loves people. Because he loves people so hard. And then that moment after, where, like, Jean is trying her best, and she's getting sucked out. And he hears her, and he's like, okay, I can't live for myself, which is a very Logan thing. Right. But immediately, he's like,
give me your hand. Yeah. Because she's like, just save Wolverine. I'm gone. Leave me be.
And he's like, ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Not for his woman. Ain't no way.
Well,
we know. Listen, you know I'm not a Jean girl. I've never been a Jean girl. We all know that.
Yeah. So, like,
but it is sweet, though.
It is very sweet. Like, this whole, like, he's like, I got you. And she's like, Logan.
Ugh. But yeah, and I love, like, because I wrote my... I wrote in my whole list about, like, you know, trying to... what all is happening in my notes. And, like, they get back, and Wolverine's like, put me in, bud. Put me in the danger.
Like, what are you going to do without claws?
God, Wolverine. And they're like, no, you have to rest. Like,
yeah, Moira's like, I'm your doctor. You've got to listen to me. And he's like, no.
And then the bones come out, which is great.
Oh, yeah. Like, they come out, and it's bloody and gory, and they're like, we got to stop his bleeding.
Which I think is, like, I think is important for him, because based on, like, after all of these things, right?
Yeah.
He needs to know that he had it in him all along. And he's like, wait, so I was already like this.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know. Or did they make me forget? Or, like, what is that, right? And I think that's more important to know, that the strength that you got was not from a trauma that was inflicted on you, right? It was something you already had in you.
Yeah.
Had the ability to harness.
Never knew it was there.
Which is such a, you know, anime cartoon thing. But it is that because it's good, okay? It's a good kind of storyline and theme. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because even people like Logan that are, like, you know, hard asses need to know that. Especially if they hate themselves or hate the thing that, like, oh, I have power, I can protect people. It's from something that was done to me.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like a survivor thing as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I already had this. It's not purely because of them. And that's me reading too much into it. I don't care.
No, I don't care. I don't think
that's what review shows are for. But I thought that was really nice. Oh my God! And the letter to Jubilee at the end.
Letter to Jubilee. That it ends on perfect, and it's Wolverine is this character. He's like this dad figure, kind of like he's adopted Shadowcat, and now he has Jubilee, and like it's so nice to see like Shadowcat in the background worrying about Wolverine, and Jubilee's worried about Wolverine, because they are in different stages, each growing up under the wing of a father figure that is Wolverine. The stoic, like wolf and cub, essentially, is what it is.
Oh, yeah,
like,
which he's best at.
Yeah.
He's always been best in that situation.
But he still feels he's a conversely tragic character in this letter to Jubilee. He's like, look, like...
He's like, I'm no use to you.
I'm no use to you. Like, I don't have this adamantium. Yeah, he has his claws, but he needs to figure himself out. And he's like, I'm no good to you this way. I want you to be the best that you can, because you've lived through so much tragedy. And you keep on smiling, and you keep on being you, despite this tragedy, when people who have only had a little inkling of tragedy in their lives take it so much worse. You know, so it's kind of homaging back to like Magneto and them and stuff. Like,
well, yeah, and like, what do you like? Do the right thing with this.
Do the right thing. Like you have always chosen to do the right thing, and he is like, basically, I have to go because I don't feel like I can lead you to do the right thing, or I don't feel like I can help you in that at this time. He needs to find himself, and it's like bittersweet. I love that she's like wearing his hat and his like.
Oh God, it's so sweet. Their relationship is so sweet. I think, man, there's so much good. I can see why you, as a reader during this time, right, really liked Jubilee so much.
Yeah.
Because I think she's so fun and interesting. Like when Magic is dying, she doesn't really know how to deal with it, and she's more upset at Kitty for being there. Because she's like, I don't even know. I'm gonna.
Well, she doesn't
I want
know.
to. She's like, I don't know who this hoe is, right? I don't know this girl. She shows
she
up and she's
background.
like, she was here like a million years ago.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she's Magic's best friend out of nowhere. Like, what? Like, she's so, but it's so sweet. Like,
It's
because she's just such a kid.
Yeah.
Man, love Julie.
So what do you
think that's. I really liked all this part. I read a little bit ahead where they like cure Peter and everything. But I pretty much kind of stopped at that. But I mean, that part's really beautiful too because Peter's able to like cry.
Yeah.
And feel, but he still stays there to hopefully be a good.
Well, he joins Excalibur for a while.
Yeah. I thought that was all really good. But yeah, the core parts of this, like especially those two, like the two issues, right? Mm-hmm. The like 75 and 25, or X-Force 25, and then Wolverine 75. Or what was in there?
X-Men 25.
X-Men 25.
Wolverine.
There's 75. Too many 25s.
It's okay. It's all right. Timelines get confusing. Gotcha.
The core of it, like the core of Fatal Attractions, I enjoy. There's a lot happening. Of course, I read the lead ups.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I can properly rate this. But I can say those two issues are very good. And I would give them an 8 out of 10. I would say the wider thing, I might go a little bit lower. Not because the context really isn't good. I think it is. I really enjoyed. I mean, like I got the picture and I enjoyed my journey with it. Right. Mm-hmm. I think those two issues, that the core of it are like 8 out of 10. The rest of it, I would go more of like a 6. Not in a bad way. It just isn't to my taste.
Yeah.
And I don't have the background. So that's me saying that right now as someone who is not connected to all of these characters. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot going on. And someone who doesn't tend to like crossover events.
Really?
Well, I like crossover events if they're contained. But there's like a lot happening. And it's not a cosmic thing. Like Annihilation's different. Annihilation's the exception, 10 out of 10.
Oh, really?
It's hard for me, especially like anything pre like 2010. Mm-hmm. There's so many characters and it's very overly wordy for no reason. Is how I see it. Is how I feel when I'm reading it.
Gotcha.
I'm at 2010. We'll say pre-2000.
Okay.
Which is not bad. Mm-hmm. Always. By this time, X-Men, I'm like, okay, we're good now. You're not literally telling me what I can see on the page. Mm-hmm. So we're good. But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. But I liked it a lot. Like I had it granted really great discussion. Mm-hmm. And that's saying something. That's to me that's all I need from something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get that from Dark Phoenix, right? I'm not getting these like heartfelt, thoughtful discussions of like what does it mean to be a human and like trauma and like what happens to a person. And that does this very well.
I would say overall, if we're talking about the whole expanse of what leads up to these two issues, the crossover event, the stuff with Exodus, the Acolytes and stuff, I'd probably give it a 7. But these two particular issues, and there's one or two others, but these two particular issues, I would say would be a 9 for me.
I think that's fair.
I say a very strongly 9. Like as a kid, I was like, Wolverine's adamantium gets ripped out of him. 10 out of 10. I've never seen this before. This is crazy. In fact, Wolverine wouldn't get his adamantium back for years after this, which is crazy.
Real quick. Hi, Sean. This conversation has been fantastic. I haven't read this book, but based on this conversation, it sounds like there's a lot to get out of it. I think there is. I think especially with a friend that you can discuss it with. It's like some books, as you discuss them, you like have more. I worry that its themes won't be as well presented in the actual books as this discussion lays them out. I think that's probably the case.
I would say that's fair. You have to, there's a lot to get to this point that I will say, like, for a new reader, you're going to have to read a little bit to know the context of these two issues that I really wanted to focus on this. So it's not as new reader friendly, but as long as, like, you could probably wiki it or, like, just get the surmise to read this. I think it sets it up. As long as you know some of the core characters, know what they're like, then it really is a good point to further your knowledge. but as a new reader, not very reader friendly.
Yeah, once you have to get past the like.
There's a lot.
I like there's a lot of like, to me that's because I know the DC characters, so it takes me less, right? But the Marvel characters, if I'm reading like a lead up to like understand an event,
see,
it takes like, so much more work. DC's way, I know all those guys.
I got embarrassed on TikTok the other day because Omar's like, so what Green Lanterns do you know? And I was like, Hal Jordan? And he's like, all right, what's this character? And I'm like, Grogu? And I was like, I knew I said the wrong thing.
God, what?
I meant Kilowog.
Oh man, can I tell you about a nerdy? His name
and I was like, Grogu.
So speaking of Green Lantern, I need to tell you guys about a really nerdy thing I did. That I did again. So a couple weeks ago, I was playing. This is already setting up nerdy. I was playing the Final Fantasy Commander deck of Magic: The Gathering at our local coffee shop, as you do. And then I look over and I see two guys playing HeroClix, but they're closer to like our age ish, even though you and I are not exactly close in age. But closer.
Like 10 years.
They're closer to your age.
40.
But I always assumed HeroClix people were like 60 or something. And I look over and I'm like, do you know what HeroClix is?
No.
Okay. So there's these small figures and then you click their like stats. Okay, good. You know. Okay. So I looked over and I was like, I want to ask them. So Elliot was with me and I was like, can I go talk to those two guys? And he's like, go ahead. And I did. I was like, hey, can you talk to me about HeroClix? And they like explain it to me. They show me their Green Lantern sets, and they're like, "Hey, if you want to come play with us sometime? We're here like on Saturdays." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So I went by myself, and they were like, They said I told my wife that somebody asked me about HeroClix, and she said I was lying.
No, that sounds cool.
But they gave me.
If you have the stats on the character.
It was great, and you get little figures, and they have all like they do it for Marvel and DC, so like lesser known characters, and they were so nice. So they did like a draft of like Green Lantern, and they gave me the little like rules so I can study up, and they let me use these Wonder Woman tokens and like dice.
That's nice.
And they were working so well for me. They're like, you should have this, and they let me keep this Adam. Look, okay, I don't know if you can see it. It's Adam from Marvel, but he's a little like slide. Because he's so tiny, like you use like under a microscope. It's like one of those instead of like a figure. A figure is normally like the person, right?
Right.
But they just put him in a little like thing because he's really tiny because he's the Atom. Isn't that so cute?
That's cute.
So I played with them. They're going to Worlds this Saturday. They're gonna play again next week. But I was like, and they're gonna like look through their stuff and make me a little like deck or not deck, but like team.
Aww.
And we talked about comics, and they're like, this is really nerdy, but these are the characters. And I was like, I literally do a comic book review show. Trust. You're not nerdy. Wait, they have Buffy? Sean, I'll come to New York. Let's play HeroClix. I've only played one time. Okay, now introduce chat to your cats.
This is Artemis. So unfortunately, we had to put down one of my cats 2 weeks ago, and the same day that I had to put down Mister, my sister texted me, and she didn't know I had to put down my cat, and she's like, hey, I found kittens underneath my porch. Do you want them? And I was like, I just had to put down one of my cats, and yes, absolutely I do want them because
absolutely I do.
I was like, I'm in grief, and of course I'm gonna do the thing that I'm like, yeah. I got there and they're like 4 weeks old. I'm like, oh my god. So now they're like 6 weeks.
They're so cute, guys.
The no brain one that I just had was Artemis, and the other one, the black and white, is Circe.
They're so cute. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're in the biting stage, so. They bit a page here when I was trying to refresh stuff. I was like, no, you can't rip this. They're kittens. What am I going to do?
Down the rabbit hole, Maddie, go. Maddie's new addiction forming in real time. You guys know me. Listen. I'll be like, I won't go that far. I say about a thing, right?
Next week, you're like, and have I introduced you to this 100 set that I've got now of HeroClix?
No.
I've got this one, and this one. Did you want to play?
It is fun. I think you'd like it. Make you a marble deck. And the guys are really nice and normal. I always worry about that, right? Because you're like, I'm like, hi, I am lone woman, right? Joining a group, but they're like normal guys.
Oh no, it's Maddie, we're gonna get ourselves kidnapped one day because that's how we keep meeting people.
Well, yeah, that's to be fair. Because you and I, guys, we're so bad because like I'll see somebody they have a shirt on that's something that I like, and then I'm like, oh, we have to talk to them. You don't have to talk to everybody you see, but I can't not do it, right? And you're the same way. You saw Match Night Radio figures in Omar's basement. Like, we have to go to his basement.
Yeah, that's what you do. Like, yeah. I'm like, nobody around here talks about Rare. Let's go to the basement of this strange guy.
I mean, that's me with anybody in Suikoden ever. Like, I think I befriended some guy randomly in a Walmart because I saw he had a Suikoden tattoo, and I was like, you have to be my friend. Which is a crazy thing to do. But I'm like, you must like my favorite video game. We are friends, right? Like,
yeah. Like, I do a Star Trek fan film, because a friend wrote me in, and like, there's all these guys, and they're like, hey, like, you want to come record down in my basement? Which sounds horrible. I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll be a Vulcan in your basement.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, and weirdly enough, one of the guys that I just met this last one,
yeah.
Like, I pulled up and he was like, hey, nice Rare sticker. And I was like, bet these are my people.
Info dump. Let's go.
Info dump.
It was all the Tylenol our mothers took while they were pregnant.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you guys, Tina and I are very fun at conventions, okay?
Oh.
We are out partying. We are out. We are ready to
talk
to people.
2 a.m. in the morning, Dance Revolution.
Yeah, or like MomoCon.
Yeah.
At 2 in the morning in the big open space. Now we should find a con to go to next.
Yeah.
We could go to New York Comic Con, hang out with Sean from the Comic Pals. You would love Sean. I'll tell you right now. Sean's good people.
I think people just would like me to like do an AMA of me getting drunk because I'm pretty quiet in person if I don't know you until I drink.
Well, we should ask Omar for the next patron AMA be a drinking one.
And then he'll turn off my mic because I go too far.
Which is hilarious because that and I am not cursed on, I'm still being very good. I have heard Omar say the most out-of-pocket things I've ever heard anybody say in my entire life. To the point where I'm just like, thank God it's never recorded. As long as Rob's not there, we're fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think. But who knows? I mean, you and I talk too much. That's why I can't be too drunk on stream. It's going to be a problem.
We need, I think us just doing like an old reader, new reader AMA.
But
Omar one time would be hilarious.
We should. It'll have to be on the Patreon though. It can't be on here.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about the real books.
What's the real books?
The books we're ashamed to talk about, or I'm ashamed to talk about.
Maddie, you know me. I am not ashamed to talk about.
I have a lot of shame.
That's why my nickname is TMI Tina. So, like, I am not ashamed of anything.
That's why I'm always like, don't check my Goodreads, guys.
The first time I met...
If you see my Goodreads, don't talk to me. Just don't listen.
Really? You haven't updated your Goodreads in a while.
Well, because I've moved over to Fable.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying to choose better choices. But I am going to that same convention for a certain type of
the
book.
monster? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with me, Maddie.
If you guys are going to be in Monster Chronica Con next year in Baltimore, hit me up. Listen, we all have things that we like. It's fine. It could be worse. And then I can hear my coworkers being like, at least you're not but now you're going to be a furry. And I'm like, no.
Literally, the very first time I actually met Omar was at our library, my wife and local library and stuff invited Omar to talk, and she was having a Comic-Con, like a small library.
I was
Comic-Con.
there.
Bibliocon, and you were there, and I was leading a panel on cosplay with somebody, and setting up for that, like, there's Omar and his friend Anthony, and for some reason I started talking about furries, and then it led to something that furries used to do and still do.
No, we're not talking about that.
And I can't say it on this because it's not an AMA.
Yeah, that's why you AMA, because you have the best stories, though.
Well, here's the thing. I have a lot of niche interests that borderline on it.
Yeah, I need you to be okay. I need you to either meet Sean or be on a show with Sean with me next month. Sean, I don't know if you like horror. Yeah, it's just horror comics next month. But
yeah, absolutely.
One episode has to be a Junji Ito thing. Yeah, that's tradition. But the rest is whatever. I haven't decided all yet. I'll mess you both up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have some weird niche interests.
Great conversation to join to. Oh God, we love the cat box story, Weez. That is not appropriate for right now. That's my favorite
That is not
story.
Appropriate for regular.
That's my favorite
YouTube.
Story.
Yep. You
so
partially experienced that story.
Oh, I was there when it happened.
I was still trying to be a good host and be like, hey, we set up the back room for
Which
you
is
guys.
Hilarious when the cat box thing is happening.
I know, like I'm trying to damage control.
I'm aware this is happening, but you guys can stay.
Something is happening behind me that they can see, and I'm just trying to do damage control.
I'm sober. I'm the most sober. I'll tell you. Not right now. No.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just, you guys are just gonna have to join the AMA. Unfortunately, it's a Patreon exclusive to know what the cat box
Sean, I'll
thing.
invite you. I don't know if your page doesn't matter. I'll invite you.
Or somehow be Maddie's friend and invite me on a live chat that's not recorded, and I will spill the beans to anyone because my nickname again is TMI Tina. It's not really TikTok Tina. It is TMI Tina.
So good, man. So good. I love it. What moral of the story is, go to cons with us. We're pretty fun. I mean, that's crazy. Omar's really crazy.
Yes.
But at least we're crazy and we look really hot at conventions. And that is true. Tina.
That's why I wear masks for
Tina
anymore.
Tina.
I have a Freya from Final Fantasy IX. I've got a
Where's
Falco.
that photo? Give me 1 second.
Star Fox. Give me a mask and I will cosplay anything.
Shut up, Tina. I'm gonna forget the photo. Oh, thank you. You know. Yeah, upgrade soul. Always. How far back did I post this?
What is this?
You know. You know the photo.
Which one? The Nami or the
No, the one of you and me.
The what? Oh yeah, the sexy Caesar clown.
Come on. Come to convention to see Tina like that in my leg.
I can't wear that anymore. That skirt just like rides up.
It was great though.
Yeah.
It's fine. Figure it out.
My horns are off there on that.
No, they're not.
They're like.
Never. You look perfect. You look perfect. You always look perfect. Anyways, we've blabbered on, but I've really enjoyed this. It's nice.
Oh no, it hasn't felt like an hour and 15 minutes.
Tina, what kind of spooky book do you want to read next month? Or you want me to just choose and not tell you?
Oh, do you want to do something classic like something from Eerie Creepy? Did you want to do?
So basically, either it's gonna be like a regular Western comic probably, or a Junji Ito book. So I need to see what's come out this past year.
Okay.
So what kind of spooky are you in the mood for?
I'm always up. I love
slasher,
Junji Ito's.
Psychological. I mean, I love Junji Ito. It's my favorite.
Yeah, Junji Ito kind of goes through the gambit of like both like body modification, horror, and psychological, which is nice. I really enjoy psychological horrors, but I'm up for.
I've read Infidel, but I would read Infidel again.
I have not read Infidel.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's horror and racism.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've read it, so I mean that would be a good one.
I can do that.
All right, I'm gonna start a group text with you and Sean. Is that okay?
Yeah, because it's October. Are you gonna do like spooky themed old reader new reader?
All month. All month is So I'm planning all of it. I'm trying within the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So October's the what so historically, all reader new reader is only being once a month,
Mm-hmm.
or every other week or something.
Yeah.
And then October hit. And we're like, well, we should do every week in October, and then it's never gone back. Besides, when I don't have my schedule right, but ideally, I'm gonna awkwardly do this text right now.
It's okay.
what?
I'm on my phone right now.
If anybody has any recommendations, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't, because my wife can't do horror. I don't have a lot of horror-esque stuff.
Ooh. Well, I have a ton. So basically, if you tell me, and if we can just do Infidel, which would be fine too. I think you'd like it. It's short, and you're welcome to come on again if you want to come up for the Junji Ito. I'm trying to get Kristen, my old co-host, to come for Junji Ito because I miss her desperately, and it feels weird to Junji Ito. Oh my god, I can talk. I haven't
Junji Ito stuff.
Yeah, Midnight Show. Check it out. This has been, I really appreciate you. This is my sappy moment, but I appreciate the show and you, Tina, and all my friends here because the world's a lot right now, and every day is a hellscape, and this has been nice. I
posted a TikTok I haven't posted in long on my personal one that basically I'm like, "Welcome to Ba Sing Se."
Yeah, it's
you're safe.
I work in an international environment. Without me telling you what I do, right? And it's hard for me right now. So thanks for you guys being cool. Yeah. Fangirls reunion for Ito, right? I don't know about Chris thinking about it. That photo is terrifying, Hayden. We got
I love that photo of Michelangelo.
It's so scary.
Well, my away photo is the Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I need to do that too. Why have I never done that? I need a weird one.
I just love that face. I love that little.
I think I'll do a Gundam one because I'm getting into Gundam. That's my other obsession. Guys, just when I think I'm done, just when I think I can't get any nerdier, Gundam and Hero Clicks. What am I, a 55-year-old man? What is this?
See, I've just turned granny. I've got cross stitch.
You were already a granny, Tina.
I've got.
Don't act like you were cross-stitching.
But then I also have. Oh, you could do Pet Shop of Horrors if you want to do a manga. Have you ever read Pet Shop of Horrors? Ooh. I mean, it's not. When it's horror, it's sort of like. Did you ever watch the anime?
No.
Girl. I mean, it's horror so much as it's horror for manga.
Yeah, I want to find one horror romance.
You could essentially say that this is kind of like a horror.
I love how far off topic these streams get once the initial discussion ends, and that's not. It's been a while because I think for a while we've had shows and we've been jumping into. We can't talk. Then it's done, right? Because we have a time. It feels nice to kind of chill and talk, which is more of the Omar way, right? Or I think Jess is the same way. I've missed that. Which Gundam shows am I watching? All of them. I'm trying to watch in order. So I'm watching the Universal timeline or whatever, the Century UC timeline. So I finished the original Gundam show, and then I watched Gundam Origin. And so I'm about to jump into some side stories before going into Zeta. And then I watched some side series. And I'm building Gunpla.
That's sweet.
I'm a cool girl.
Hey, I have
go to club on a Thursday, build a Gunpla on Friday.
Everybody has to have their niche interests.
Yeah.
I'm really big into Star Trek right now. Like we're rewatching the Next Gen, and then we're gonna hop onto Deep Space Nine,
which I love.
I mean, it's great. I am picking up like.
Oh yeah, I do want to read those comics eventually. I meant to have Jesse Gender back on. It's been years though to do the Star Trek comics.
I'm supposed to be reading this stuff and reviewing it for Omar for like some of the Star Trek stuff. So that's what I'm doing.
We should do it with Andrew sometime. That'd be a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just emceed a Star Trek show as Deanna Troi.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have that interest.
Yeah, of course. I was always a Star Trek girl first before Star Wars. Especially Deep Space Nine. That's my favorite one.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Well, Heather surprised me because like I've been watching it and she's been actually getting into Next Gen, and we're at a part where there's 1 or 2 episodes I haven't seen that I was like, oh, I haven't watched this. I don't remember this.
Yeah.
But I wasn't as big a fan of Deep Space Nine when it came out, so I didn't catch all the episodes. So some of it's going to be new, but Heather's like, I'm really excited to watch
God, it's so good.
Well, I was like, why are you so interested in watching Deep Space Nine? And she's like, well, one of the people I follow on Tumblr, because she's still on Tumblr, she's like, is a really big fan of Julian and, who's that Kardashian?
Oh, the Cardassian character.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Oh, yeah, because they ship them a lot, right?
Well, they ship them a lot, and
See, Lower
Decks made it official.
No.
Yeah, so Lower Decks actually made it official thing, and I fucking love.
It's Lower Decks. We're way far into this. You can say.
Okay, yeah. You heard me catch myself. I love Lower Decks, so I was like, oh yeah, they made it official.
Oh yeah, Andrew just released. Are you in that one or no?
So he is in Caliborn, and I think it's Caliborn that just released. So Andrew and I actually haven't filmed on the same set together because there's different starships. He's on Caliborn. I've appeared in Deimos, Sagittarius, and there's one other one. Is Webster? I think it is. So I have not appeared on Mary Curie. Yeah. There's a Klingon crossover I have appeared in, but my home starship is Sagittarius.
Okay, so Andrew, one of the other original near mint condition people, like myself and I'm not the OG. I'm the second OG. I'm phase 2 near mint condition.
Phase 2.
They just released a new movie. We need another Jesse feature. I need to get back into Trek, but they're pissing me off axing Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Gundam fan.
Next year is going to be the 60th anniversary, and from my understanding, they're going to be hitting pretty hard every month with Star Trek. In fact, they had Star Trek. It was a show geared for younger kids. Is it Prodigy? I haven't watched it yet, but apparently they're doing Star Trek Scouts, which is for a even younger audience. They've got Strange New Worlds going on. There's another show that they hinted at 2 new shows basically back in July. Yeah. One that is set in a TOS era and one that is brand new cast and stuff. So we'll have like TOS characters, but we haven't heard yet if it's sort of like the Abrams world or if it's the Strange New World type of TOS. So I'm looking forward to it so much.
Well, Tina, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
I have to go to bed so I can wake up and then do presentation to some German people tomorrow.
Guten Tag.
Thank you. It was really fun. I'll be back next week with Omar. I need to see what we're reading because I don't know. My goal this week is to finalize my October schedule. So that way at the beginning of October, I can go in and release what we're reading for all of Halloween. Because that's the best month of the year, baby. Hope you like this video. Comment down below. Oh my God, look, Cersei. Sweet baby. Comment down below your thoughts about Fatal Attractions. Any other recommendations going forward based on what we talked about. And check out our Patreon, or hopefully we'll go add a drunk AMA sometime. And yeah, hope you all have a good night. Good, take care of yourselves. Okay, rest, drink a lot of water, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cersei. Oh.
She wants down now.